Boxing truth here. Let's talk about this situation. The situation that I brought to the attention months ago, as I revealed Eddie Hearn's master plan in trying to eliminate Deontay Wilder. Dillian Whyte is the piece on the chessboard that Hearn is trying to eliminate Deontay Wilder. He's doing this for several reasons. For his own best interests, to get a potential big unification fight in UK featuring two British fighters, and to have all the belts in his control in the heavyweight division. He'll have so much power in the game with all the belts at his disposal. So you can see why Eddie Hearn is doing this. He wants Wilder to get through Dillian Whyte somewhat as like a shield in order to get to Joshua, but it's still in Wilder's best interest to accept the offer that he's going to get, that he's already gotten to fight Dillian Whyte, an increased offer. Look, it's most likely the Joshua fight is not going to happen. I don't know why people keep bitching and moaning about it. Most fights don't happen when you want it to happen. It's just a natural part of the boxing business. Usually happen a year later, or a year after you want it to happen, and sometimes it happens 5 years after you want it to happen. Just part of the sport. But Wilder, it's really in his best interest to not only go to Cardiff, which he's not going to do. Of course, he's going to get confronted by Dillian Whyte. That's the plan. But it's also good for him. Good opportunity, a lot of press, publicity. That's not a bad thing. He gets paid for his services to go over there. And he'll continue to build the Joshua fight if he can get past Dillian Whyte, which is what Eddie Hearn is trying to set up. Right now, Eddie Hearn's trying to force the shot by offering Wilder's team a significant increase compared to the last offer. Not only does this give Wilder more push with his reach for the general boxing public, it helps him. It helps build up the fight if he gets past Dillian Whyte, a career high payday in the process. So if the Joshua fight is not going to be next, is there any reason to really shit on this fight? Even though I think Dillian Whyte is better than 99% of Wilder's previous opponents. That 1% is Luis Ortiz. I don't think Whyte is better than Ortiz, but I think he's better than the majority of Deontay Wilder's opponents. And it doesn't matter if you feel he deserves a shot or not. He's the #1 contender. Eventually, he's going to get the shot. So Wilder could potentially just get this fight out the way as he waits for Anthony Joshua, as Eddie Hearn has already stated in many interviews that if the Wilder fights happen with Joshua, it's not going to happen until the fourth quarter of the year, October, November, December. So Hearn is offering Wilder an option. Instead of waiting an extra 8 months, he can get a very lucrative opportunity fight against Dillian Whyte. For a career high payday, he'll have to go over there, of course, to the UK, and it'll be a good fight between, top heavyweights. I would favor Wilder in that matchup, but Dillian Whyte is a live dog. He's in his prime. He's 29. He's a big, strong guy. He's got some power. He's only lost once to Anthony Joshua in a competitive fight where he rocked Joshua, showed some wrinkles in his game. I mean, Dillian Whyte's, he's fought some decent opponents. He's improved a little. He's battle tested. I thought he got a gift against Chisora, but it was close. He's fought some world-rated contenders, and he just knocked out Lucas Brown in the best possible win he can get against him. He dominated him too. Yeah, Brown was old and was inactive, but so was Luis Ortiz. So same shit. I think it will be a good fight. I don't see it as a mismatch. Wilder struggles with any rated contender he fights. He struggles with football players. So I expect Wilder to struggle in this fight, and that's why Wilder's team don't want to take it, because it's too much of a risk. Especially, it'll be the first time that Wilder will be fighting a non-Heyman fighter, which is what I want to see. I want to see Wilder continue to fight the best available opposition as he waits for the Joshua fight. This is what my problem with the Wilder fanboys. They will accept another bum streak. They will accept another 10 showcase fights until he fights Anthony Joshua. That's what I don't want. That shit, I mean, that sends a message to me that you're a protected fraud, that you're not a real champion. While you're going on a bum streak, Joshua's going to continue to fight the best available competition. That's what I want Wilder to continue to do. Keep fighting the top contenders. Keep fighting the most of best available competition in the division while you wait for the Joshua fight. Dillian Whyte is a good challenge, a good test for him for his reign as WBC heavyweight king. He'll come to fight, he'll come to win, and he won't come to lay down. It'll be an interesting fight that Wilder will be favored in, but Whyte can definitely beat Deontay Wilder. I'm not saying he would, but he could beat Deontay Wilder since he will have home court advantage. It will be a hostile crowd. It will be a different experience for Wilder, fighting in front of the biggest crowd of his life against a live opponent who is in his prime, who is not afraid, not intimidated by Deontay Wilder. So, in the meantime, while we wait for Wilder Joshua, why not this fight? But they're going to turn it down. Most likely, again, and it's going to make Wilder look like he's ducking Dillian Whyte. Because if he doesn't fight Dillian Whyte, he most likely will fight Dominic Breazeale, which is a decent fight, not a bad fight. But I'd rather see Wilder fight the best available competition available, especially a fight that makes more sense for him, which is Dillian Whyte. It does a lot of things for his career, especially if he wins. There's more incentive to go through with this fight, but of course it's a riskier fight instead of taking an in-house fight with the PBC. But that's my issue. I want to see Wilder continue to fight the best available competition. I want it to behave like a true champion, because Joshua is going to continue to fight the top contenders, the best available opponents out there in the division. And if Wilder goes on another bum streak, then it's just going to send a message that he's a protected fraud. And he should be ready now to fight any heavyweight in the world, whether it's an in-house fight or he has to go outside the PBC. I would rather see Wilder, if he's not going to get Joshua next, fight someone outside the PBC. That would show a lot of that would give him a lot of respect. It will give him more recognition. It will give him more worthiness as a champion, especially if he was to beat Whyte. There's plenty of incentive for him if he wins this fight, and it will be a good heavyweight matchup if it gets made. I would pick Wilder to win, but I expect another life and death struggle, a lot of nervous moments for the Wilder fans before he was able to overcome Dillian Whyte. It'll be another tough fight where Wilder will have some rocky moments, maybe even get rocked, just like Joshua got rocked fighting this guy. Whyte's not a bum. He's got some decent wins on his resume. He's fought some world-rated contenders. Only has the loss to Joshua. And he says he's ready. And he wants you next, Deontay. But your team doesn't show any interest in this fight at all. And just like Eddie Hearn says, you're just pleased with fighting with the geezers that you're fighting on this side. But that's not going to be enough, man. You can't go on another bum streak, dog. Your fans will accept it, but I won't accept it, and the real boxing fans won't accept it. Continue to fight the best available competition, because eventually you got to fight this guy anyway. Whether he's the mandatory or not, that situation is a little unclear right now. He's number one in the silver champion that doesn't necessarily mean you're the mandatory. Brazil's saying he's the mandatory, so who knows? But eventually, you got to fight this guy, because that's Eddie Hearn's master plan to eliminate you. This is the piece on the chessboard that he's using. In order to get to the king, you got to eliminate this guy. Or he's going to come to eliminate you. Sooner rather than later. You might as well just get it out the way now. In June or July. Since the Joshua fight ain't going to happen until November, December, or 2019. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.